Good morning, Supervisor Howard. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Thank you. I'll stand by.
Oh, yeah, that one. I got it. Yeah. I guess there she is. Oh, yeah. Brenda. Yeah, see my. Cindy State. Well, you did your hair up and everything, and you wear the pearl.
26 minus.
I can't.
And charter change
Correct.
or ballot execution? Is there a separate one for ballot execution? It's one before.
Thank you for that.
Yeah, second reading. Yeah. Yes. 26. That's the number for you, by the way. So let's open Brandon. Some of those are originals, so.
How are you doing?
Yeah. So what do you do with the video? I post it online. So I will post on
YouTube.
YouTube.
Okay. When will you post it?
Today, okay.
I'll send it to you. Can you send it to me?
No, I put it next now. You see.
Oh, next one.
Yeah.
Okay.
You see my post.
I was booked on next door. But I just got back on today. Yesterday, I just got back.
I will send you the egg.
Okay.
For forward egg.
Okay. Yep.
Listen, you might get the back of my head. I'm kidding. I'm just kidding.
I'm all there.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. I'm not even moving.
you can't get it in this. Oh, yeah. So that's, okay, I'll get it.
One step at a time.
You want to
Yeah.
sign this? Ray?
That's when I discuss it.
Make sure you get a release from my agent.
Okay, so, wait a minute, just to say, your hands
Yeah.
Call for recall.
Yes, these people basically pro criminal.
right?
Yeah, pro criminal.
She's a murderer. She defends the right to murder. And it's time we recalled her and the entire Soros bunch of political leaders in the state once and for all. That's why I'm running for state assembly against Mia Bonta.
Yes, yes.
We're going to protect Oakland, Alameda, Emeryville, and the state of California.
The time get better. We the people
Yes, we the
in
people,
charge.
that's right.
We the people in charge.
Yep.
Yeah.
Not these who are soft on running the drugs and human trafficking. That's
No more soft on crime.
no more soft on crime.
Yeah.
We're going to get a productive economy again where people can
Yes.
get their businesses.
Yeah. Hello. Hello, Tuấn. Yeah.
Yes.
We have some sign.
Yeah. It going on for another year. The state will be dead. Nobody will come to the state no more.
No, no.
The state-
It used to be a great place.
Yes.
So we're going to make it great again.
Yes, sure. Yeah.
Thank you for
Let,
what you do.
let make this state red again.
Yep, exactly.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Yes,
Some specific.
Okay.
yeah.
Do you want me to, I can hold anything you want.
That's the.
Let me see.
Okay. If you want me to hold a different one.
This is good.
This one's good? Okay.
Are you a registered voter in Alameda County?
Yes.
Maybe it's when we
Okay,
talk.
I need you, we are also recalling the council and the chief administrator, because they're the ones that are trying to change the charter,
Yes. Yeah.
okay? So I have the papers. Do you have a pen?
Oh no, I don't.
Yeah, you- Oh, no.
It's okay. Okay. Bỏ này xuống đó. Let me put it down. Let me set it down.
sign, and we need your address, you make the city. Just put your address back. Oh, okay. Okay, I'm looking in here also. Smile.
You're on a candid photo. Linda's got a smile. Let me get one of Mark.
I'm hard of hearing, so.
That's all right.
The studious types here.
Their water bottle? Oh, I also will get this. Thanks.
You would say it's in your thanks for always coming out here.
TV stations.
So if we launch.
Where are you at? Yeah, I'm on 17th and International. Oh. Yeah, yeah. Butch and Enoch are my yeah, yeah, right.
I know, but at the end of the day. That's how we have, right now, that's the kind
If you don't stop putting things in front of me, all over I'm not looking at
Recording in progress.
Ok, đã đến giờ rồi.
Good morning, everyone. I'd like to call the Board of Supervisors regular meeting of November 28th to order session. Speakers joining the meeting via teleconference, please unmute your microphone. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Supervisor Albert?
Present.
Supervisor Marquez? Present. Supervisor Ham?
Present.
Supervisor Carson, excused. President Myers?
Here. Join me in the pledge of allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Board of Supervisors, will please, we could keep the noise down, please. Board of Supervisors welcomes you to the meeting. Board allows in-person and remote observation, participation by members of the public at its meetings. County of Alameda recognizes the importance of combating all public participation in government. We remind you that disruptive conduct that renders orderly conduct of the meeting unfeasible is not tolerated. This includes disruptive conduct that may occur in public time. Chair will order the removal of individuals who are willfully disrupting the meeting. so that the meeting may continue in an orderly manner. For those attending the meeting in person, if you would like to speak to an item on the agenda or to a public input, submit a speaker card to the clerk so your name can be called to speak in the appropriate place on the agenda. The clerk will now provide you instructions on how to verbally participate in public comment through online telephones.
Detailed instructions are provided in the teleconferencing guideline. A link to the document is included in today's agenda. If you are joining the meeting using a computer, use the button at the bottom of your screen to raise your hand to request to speak. When called to speak, please unmute your microphone and state your name. If you are calling in, dial *9 to raise your hand to speak. When you are called to speak, the host will enable you to speak. If you decide not to speak, notify the clerk when your call is unmuted, or you may simply hang up and dial back to the meeting. As a reminder, you may always just observe the meeting without participating by clicking on the View Now link on the county's webpage at acgov.org. When called, you will have 2 minutes to speak. Please limit your remarks to the time allocated. Public comment will generally alternate between in-person and online speakers as determined by the president of the board and subject to overall time limits. Thank you.
Are there any board remarks? We will not take public comment on items on the agenda except items listed as 11 o'clock session matters. Public comment on items listed as 11 o'clock will be taken after the item is called for presentation and or discussion. Clerk will now have any public speakers on items on the agenda that are not listed as 11 o'clock session.
We do have speakers online and in person. We will start with in person. Please state your name, the city you live in, and which item you are speaking on. You will have 2 minutes to speak. Mindy?
Hello, Board of Supervisors. My name is Mindy Petchuk. I'm here with Itaka, and I'm also a candidate for State Assembly 18, this district. And I want to start with, we have given to each one of you this complaint issued to Mr. Dupuy, which is going to be filed with the Civil Service Commission. And I would encourage you all to read it very thoroughly, and the action that is needed. Dupuy's incompetence is part of this serious problem. I urge you all to follow through with your heart, to actually go against passing this charter now. And there's 2 things I want to point out. One, our council, Donald Sigler, has made a grave error. One, when it was said in the last meeting that Alameda County was the only county that was not in quote compliance with the state charter, and that's why we had to do this and rush while we're in the middle of the recall against Pamela Price. That is not true. There are 6 other counties, and I'll give them to you. Alvarado, Placer, Sacramento, San Francisco, San Mateo, Santa Clara County charters deviate from state law. So there is absolutely no rush. And this is election interference has been discussed because it would increase the number of signatures that the Pamela Price recall. And people are dying in the city. They're being murdered, they can't live their lives. We have to take this seriously. And I call on Lena, you are my representative. Lisa, you're not, but you are with us. Nate, Dave, while you're here. This is an important moment. The other thing I just want to say before, also, the question of what it says in section 62.
Nelson, you're online. Please state which item you're speaking on.
Hi, my name is Schaefer Nelson. I live in Oakland. I'm speaking to item 26. I am opposed to the recall of Pamela Price. Many of the signatures were gathered by non-registered voters and are therefore invalid. That violates the county charter. And even if that is changed by the voters in March, that will be after these signatures have all been gathered, so they are being gathered under the current charter. So oppose the recall, and just like to remind the board that signatures gathered by non-registered voters are invalid under our charter. Thank you.
Robert Norton?
Yes.
That's me. Hi, my name is Robert Norton, Oakland, California. I'm here, I'm against 26B. We don't need more elected officials not being accountable to the public. Another reason I'm here is because I subpoenaed 2 members of the assessor's office for assessment appeal hearing I had. And there was the board members from District 1, 2, and 3. And I wanted to get the testimony from the assessor's office members. I was denied that by the board members. I was denied my constitutional right to due process. These people have submitted fraudulent and deceptive filings with the clerk. Also during the meeting, I asked the board members to grant the opportunity to retrieve and find documents I did not have with me and needed in order to be able to represent the full history and laws for the changes of ownership hearing. The board answer to my request was no. I reminded the board that they had just granted the lawyer in the earlier change of ownership hearing a rescheduling so he could retrieve and find documents to be able to represent the full history and laws. This is exactly what I was asking for. So I said to the board members this, and yet they would not change their ruling. Unfortunately, I had to point out the obvious to the board members, that they had granted a rescheduling for a white man, and I, as a black man, was asking for the same thing, and was being denied the opportunity to reschedule my hearing. The board members made the point, the documents I needed was not as important as the white lawyer's documents. At some point during this discussion, one of the board members looked at me and said, "We are in court." I repeated to the board members how they was ruling one way for a white man and another way for a black man.
So your time is exceeded.
I'm sorry. And so I would like to give you guys a copy of this, if I may. And I will be contacting you about this. Thank you.
Sean, you're online. Please state which item you're speaking on. Sean Lee.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Am I on?
Please
Okay,
state your
very
name
good.
and which item you're speaking on.
Thank you. Jackie Coda, agenda item 26. I would like to draw the attention of the board to the fact that county council is presenting an incomplete picture and being disingenuous by not apprising the board of the option to seek a judicial ruling before the conclusion of the current recall effort, indicating a willingness to disregard unconstitutional aspects of the charter, such as previous speaker had mentioned. This would satisfy the board's concern about potential challenge to charter rules. It's also very frustrating that it seems like council is trying to pull the wool over the public's eyes, as well as the new supervisors, Ms. Tam and Ms. Marquez. You need to pay attention. They're trying to take the rights of the people away from the people. Council's urging the board to pass a resolution for a ballot amendment, and the ballot amendment says California state law, this is quote, applicable to recall of county officers shall govern the recall of county Alameda elected officers. However, in the attachment, it specifically states in there that this no longer allows the County of Alameda appointees to be recalled. So the council is being disingenuous and lying to the public by putting one thing on the agenda and another thing in the attachments. It also states in here that the county charter is out of date. That's not correct. It is fully up to date. Like I said, you could seek relief through judicial recognition for the unconstitutional aspects of it. But it's important for you not to move forward so hastily and take away the rights of the people. Propagating misinformation to the public and to curtail their rights through a ballot vote based on false premises is unacceptable. And I urge especially our new supervisors who are just recently on the board, don't let them fool you this way. And don't let the people have their rights taken away from them that they've enjoyed for almost 100 years. It was so important that an elected body created this charter. Thank you.
Luann?
Good morning. I arrived here for a 9:30 meeting and stayed here, but there's only one person sitting here. The many meetings that I've attended online or here, they don't start on time. Would you be respectful if you were to start on time? Thank you. I'm here in advance 26 because it defaults to the state versus the local. And we have seen this board default to the state before. We saw the board default to the state and the emergency through the health office. We saw this board give all authority to the health officer and remove it from yourselves. We have seen what can happen when our vote is not listened to. When it's not heard by the people, we expect you to keep doing those jobs, not to give them to someone else. We would want to review. We want to come to you and say, this is not a good fit here. We don't agree with this fit. And if you don't do that fit, then we want the right to say what happens to us by that appointed individual. It should not be taken away from us. We also showed this when you implemented the oversight committee for the sheriff. There are 5 that we vote individually for a sheriff. To add an oversight committee on top of the sheriff is taking away our vote. So continually, the state of California has encouraged you to take away our vote. You do not need to follow the state of California. This is our county, our decisions. That's how the founders, or the elected body, chose to implement that in this county. My next comment is for Mr. Carson, Supervisor Carson, when we were speaking about the founders last time. He said all of them, and he made a point of telling us that all of them had slaves. You have your founders mixed up, because this state was founded as a free state, not a slave state. And if there were any founders that wrote something that had slaves, they were unlawful here in this state. So get your stories correct. Federal, state, county. Thank you.
Greg, you're online. Please state which item you're speaking on.
So item 26. Can you hear me?
We can hear you.
Okay. So I'm a lifelong resident of Alameda County, been a voter for over 50 years here, since I could first register to vote. And I think that I agree that you, the county supervisors, should be upholding our local laws, and therefore, since our current county charter says regarding the recall process that only Alameda County registered voters can gather signatures for a recall, then I think you should be directing our register of voters to invalidate all of the signatures illegally gathered by those who are not Alameda County registered voters. I hope you will do your duty, and I trust that you will have all these invalid signatures thrown out, because we must uphold the charter. Thank you very much.
Morning. No on 26. So it should not go on the ballot so that our county falls into the state. What's good for the state may not be good for Alameda County, when I say may. I really believe in the principle of hate the lying like a liar. And all of you who represent us in Alameda County, I want to respect you for all your service. And there are two roles in life. You have the spiritual side, the moral side, the ethical side, and you have the physical, the material side. And many times in our government, it's really more influenced by the material side, the money side. And so, just like the mind and body, the mind should guide the body, the morals, the heart, not just living for the moment. A lot of times, there's really selfish reasons for decisions, manipulated by others. So, of the people, by the people, for the people. And, I met Governor Newsom, and before we got elected, and a restaurant for my daughter, she graduated college, and he told me the reason why he got into power was because of oil ground. And so, I don't think that's a good motivation. It's just like there's certain power and things that have been driven. And so the state is not, we should have more autonomy in our own area. And so that's why we're here, other people. And when you think about the Constitution, when we talk to people, we talk about complacency. Why America is really in trouble now, because we're not involved in individuals, right? And so here, we have so many people involved saying no in 26. We want to keep that, personal, connection, because I can say God loves me more than I love God. I don't know, I can say my country has loved me more. And even here, I really love California. We all do what I want to be. We want to be responsible and truly put God and put the spirit of love in our decisions.
Chris, you're on the line. Please state the item you're speaking on.
Yes, hi, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, my name is Chris Castro Valley, also item 26. And I also want to reiterate what other people are saying here, that, government is by we the people, for the people. So, and I know people in government, whether elected or appointed, are public servants, and we are supposed to serve the public, not tell the public what to do, but serve the public. And it says in Isaiah 9:6 in the Bible, it says, "For unto us a child is born, unto us a son is given, and the government shall be on his shoulders." Right, so the government, you can't take over the government. The government shall be on the shoulders of the Lord. And so, for that reason, I'm praying for you guys, because I pray for everybody in government to do the right thing and to be righteous, because to love your neighbor means to pray that your neighbors will spend eternity in the right place, because I wouldn't want anybody, even any people that I would dislike as an enemy, I would never want them to spend eternity in the wrong place, because that's a horrible place and you can't get out of it, and eternity is actually a very long time. So I don't like the idea of a person that is in government that is doing the wrong thing and can't be recalled, because we the people standing up against that say, no, we have the evidence now that what is being done is wrong, so we pray for that person to do what is right, but also to get out of the way. If she's not doing the right thing, then she should step away, and the government should be, again, for we the people. So please do as we say, because you're the public servants, and we say, do not pass that law, so don't do it. Okay? I pray in the name of Jesus. Thanks. Amen.
Thank you. I'm Deborah Gelber. I'm a resident and voter in Oakland. And I am here to strongly demand that this abolishing of Article 62 that takes the right away from voters to recall Pamela Price, the district attorney, not be taken away from us. And I want to tell you I think a relevant anecdote, personal anecdote. I recently had the chance to spend 2 weeks in Detroit. I was there for a wedding and a friend and a visit for 2 weeks. And, I talked to a lot of people in Detroit, outside of Detroit, whatever. And every time I told them I was from Oakland, California, they would go, "Oh, really? I hear that's really bad." Person after person for 2 weeks. I mean, I was personally really shocked because I knew it was bad, but I didn't know it a national disgrace. What people have to go through, the level of crime and the lack of any action in it. So we need a new district attorney. People deserve it, and they have the right to vote for a recall of this. Don't take this right away from us. And so that's what I have to say, and really I hope that you think about what I said, because maybe people hear things about Detroit, but this place has been turned into a national disgrace. The level of crime is off the charts, So that's what I have to say, and I hope you do take this to heart. We deserve the right to recall this district attorney. Don't take that right away from us.
That's right.
Calling you online, please state which item you're speaking on. Joanna? Please unmute your mic.
Hi, good morning. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Hi, my name is Luana Chisola. I'm an attorney, a restorative justice circle gatekeeper, and a community advocate living in Oakland. I'm speaking also on item 26. You see, I spent many hours in front of Trader Joe's on Lakeshore Avenue in Oakland watching and talking to folks as they were gathering signatures to recall DA Price. They were all paid signature gatherers who came out of state, and they told me so. And this is a violation of the charter, and it is wrong. It shows that the recall campaign it shows what the recall campaign is willing to do to unseat DA Pamela Price. You see, the efforts to recall DA Price started from the day she was sworn in. People are blaming her for a waving crime that started way before she was elected, and it continues for reasons outside of her control. Yes, we need to hold our district attorney accountable, but the way to hold her accountable is to see whether her policies and practices are leading to reductions in recidivism as compared to the previous district attorney. And for that, there simply hasn't been enough time. So I'm here to stand with DA Price against a recall and to ask all of you to do what's needed to protect the votes of Alameda County residents right now. Thank you.
Thank you, Rosa.
Thank you very much. I'd like to thank President Miley and Vice President Howard for your slowing the roll on item 26. I'm from San Leandro, Supervisor Tam's in my district, and I think that we have to be very careful here about giving the real story. County Council Ziegler is presenting you with two things. The public is being presented with wording that's going to appear on the March ballot, but the board members know that she has clarified that this will in fact take away the people's right to recall appointed officials such as Ms. Ziegler and Ms. Marnishi and a few other people to free the registrar of voters. Based on a comment that Supervisor Carson had made, I tried to do a little bit of research at the library to figure out who are these 15 people who convinced the voters 97 years ago to adopt this charter. I couldn't find anything. I couldn't find anything in the library. I did through microfiche, I couldn't find anything. But I do know that when you all are running your campaigns for re-election, I will be able to find your names in a Wayback Machine. Instantaneously, I will be able to see that it was Supervisor Lena Tam, Supervisor Lisa Marquez, President Nate Miley, Vice President David Halber, Supervisor Keith Carson, under the guidance and leadership of the person who's advising them, and that is Ms. Ziegler. All of your names will be on here. I'll be able to find this instantaneously. So your opponents who run against you will be able to put a lie to any campaign speech you make where you say you are for the people. You're not for the people if you're taking away a very important right. Thank you.
Sean, you're online. Please state which item you're speaking on.
Thank you so much. I'm speaking in opposition to item 26. Can you hear me? All right, thank you. Mr. President, I'm a lifelong D5 voter, and I'd like to speak in opposition to item 26. While I'm very sympathetic to decreasing litigation costs, maintaining our charter's restriction of petition circulators to county registered voters is a strong policy choice. It helps limit the effect of out-of-state, out-of-county money and large donors in our democracy. It is a very good use of legal resources to defend that position and our charter in court. And I would not urge the amendment of the charter at this time. Thank you very much, and I yield the floor back.
Kevin Long.
Good morning, and thank you Supervisor Chan and Marquez for actually making eye contact with the speakers, because the public is here to speak to its public servants. With peace and love, what is it that you think you all are doing by deconstructing the barriers we put between us and tyranny? We don't want to default to the state. This is our county. We've seen over and over again the state of California come in and destroy our communities. They have literally taken a wrecking ball to us these last 3 years. When you're seeing somebody like me come down here in person as an employer, I'm out there using tax dollars to run this business you all have going here. I don't need to be here. I'm supposed to trust you to do the job of running this county in a way that doesn't destroy people. And I'm sorry, you two are the jury's out on you, but the two of you, Keith Carson and Nate Miley, you've done a lot to destroy people these last 3 years. You, Mr. Miley, have done better. Mr. Carson can't even look up to his constituents when we're speaking to him. And that does not go unnoticed. Over and over and over again. And over time, you're going to see more people like me who have the ability to move things. And even the corrupt Superior Court we have here can't stop us. So it would be advisable to not deconstruct the barrier that sits between us and the state, because Newsom can care less about us. You people care about us. We need you to care about. And it's not just for me, it's not just for them, it's for your children, for your relatives, and for everybody that has to inherit this legacy. So you have a job to make an important legacy from the state. Thank you.
John, you're online. Please state which item you're speaking on.
John Guerrero, Fremont, item 26. Just a little bit of housekeeping here first. The claim that the signature get-togethers are somewhat not doing it correctly. Let me just check. It was County Council Ziegler who pointed out that part of the charter is unconstitutional. And all you really need to do is just go and get to the short judgment, say yes, that part of the charter is unconstitutional, and that these signature gatherers are perfectly legal under the California Constitution, and just go ahead and just get that fixed. Now back to what I really want to talk about here is that in the past, when the founding of this country, the founders, and even the founders here in California all realized that government over time, and you look at it as civilizations, government over time tends to forget that they serve the people and then start serving them themselves. And that is, it's just, inherent in human nature for them to do that. They have that power and they think they have it. But the California Constitution says that all political power is inherent in the people. And 97 years ago, the people of Alameda County voted the charter in, and instead of having to vote for every single office, they left that up to the Board of Supervisors. But the people of Alameda County retained the right to recall those people, even though they did not appoint them. They wanted to be able to recall them, and so they kept that in there. And the government, at this point, it looks like they're trying to take that right away from people.
Mark Zoom.
Good morning, supervisors. My name is Mark Zulu, Castro Valley, and I just want to say I'd like to speak to item 26, A and B. Thank you, President Miley and Supervisor Howard, for your vote of no last Tuesday. Just want to say thank you. I think this is a mess. As you can see, there's a lot of comments. The public is either confused or don't quite understand, or they believe that you are disrupting our election process. To Supervisor Tam, Marquez, and Carson, I urge a vote of no today, and President Wiley, my supervisor, to vote no, as well as Supervisor Howard. California Constitution, Article 2, Section 19 covers this. It specifically allows for charters. We are one of 14 counties to have a charter. And to tag on what others have said, it has been found unconstitutional to require the paid signature gatherers requiring citizenship or voters, registered voters in Alameda County. State Constitution says that is not required. So I just want to stress that. So what is happening? We, the people, see this as an election interference. And it's sad, but it's true. And we're as a volunteer of Save Alameda County for everyone, we're approaching 80,000 signatures. We will achieve 110,000, 120,000. We'll deliver those in January if need be. And we cannot see that process moved to require more signatures, delays. It will not be good. So I urge a vote of no, push this into April next summer, and deal with this recall now. Thank you.
Zoom user, you're online. Please state which item you're speaking on. Zoom user, you're online. David, you're online. Please state which item you're speaking on.
Yes, I am. Am I coming through?
Yes.
Yes, very good. My name is David. I live in Oakland. Speaking in opposition to item 26, I think of the beauty of our constitutional republic of many. One is this concept that's laid out nicely in the 10th Amendment, and let me read that and then make a draw a parallel to the relationship between the county and the state. So it reads, the power is not delegated to the United States by the Constitution, nor prohibited by it to the state, reserved to the states respectively, or to the people. So our direct analogy would be the power is not delegated to the state of California by the Constitution or prohibited by it to the counties, are reserved to the counties respectively, or to the people. We are the people. We have the power as the people to elect our representatives in our constitutional republic, and therefore we also retain the power by the people, of the people, at the county level, to unelect our servants who are not serving our cause and who are not providing the leadership that we elected them to provide. Most importantly, at a position, let's say, for example, as district attorney. So we've seen crime and incivility and so much about our California and our local living run amok and go run counter to, I think, any sort of quality of life that people would want to, where people would want to live in a place like this. So, opposing 26.
Patricia?
Good morning. First, I'd like to let you know I'm speaking in opposition to item number 26. First, I'd like to let you know I am aware of the maladministration complaint for submission to the Alameda County Civil Service Commission against the Director of the Registrar of Voters, Tim DeQuee, and the letter of intent to recall Mr. DeQuee along with numerous signatures already attained in this process. I have brought each of you copies of the California State Constitution with Article 2, Section 19 earmarked, which clearly exempts counties and cities whose charters provide for recall from state control over said process. I would like to recognize Supervisors Halpert and Miley for your astute understanding that any proposed amendments to Section 62 of the county charter should not be brought before the electorate at this time. Supervisor Tam and Supervisor Marquez, there is time to thoroughly assess Section 62 and surgically amend portions of the charter deemed constitutionally questionable. Furthermore, the Board of Supervisors currently has the option of finding legal remedy within the Superior Court. As you know, the court may issue a judicial ruling recognizing the county's willingness to disregard the very limited constitutionally questionable petition aspects of the charter. As your colleagues have reasoned, a rush to curtail the voters' rights will not be well received by the electorate. We have watched and heard an extremely diverse citizenry come to this chamber to offer the board assistance, voice their grave concerns concerning a vast array of the ROV's failure to ensure lawful, accurate, honest, transparent, and timely election processes. Our most sacred right as citizens, the right to vote, and have that vote counted according to these election tenets. DeQuee's maladministration illustrates the exact necessity for Section 62, protecting the people's right to recall appointed officials. Here's the truth. Abolishing Section 62 and aligning the state recall process forfeits the power of the people to recall appointed officials and eliminates their right to elect a replacement candidate.
55 signatures in one day on a complete recall. We'll get more very, very quickly.
Hello, you're online. Please state which item you're speaking on.
Yes, this is Laurel. I'm calling in to say no to 26. Adding my voice to the other esteemed speakers, the people are speaking. No on 26. Do not remove our rights, voters' rights, citizens' rights to a recall. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Ed Escobar. I'm the founder of Citizens Unite.
also a participating member in the Coalition for Community Engagement. We are extremely concerned about the proposed amendment that will change the recall procedures in Alameda County. This affects the democratic rights of residents and the accountability of county officials. The amendment was initiated by the county's lawyer, Donna Ziegler, seated right over here, who claimed the current recall rules were outdated and problematic. She said the county's laws were a detriment to ensuring lawful, competent, and timely recalls. However, many residents and groups oppose this amendment, calling it a blatant power grab that eliminates the public's right to recall appointed county officers, including the county administrator, the registrar of voters, and even the county council, Donna Ziegler herself, who are among the highest paid and most powerful local government employees. They are not elected by the people and should not be immune from the people's scrutiny and judgment. The Alameda County Taxpayers Association, whose attorney Jason Price said this amendment was much more extensive than the county is presenting to the public and overreaching in what they're trying to do. We call for the dismissal of County Registrar of Voters Tim DeBuy over election integrity concerns. DeBuy mismanaged the 2020 election, failing to protect voting rights and violating state law. This amendment also affects the ongoing recall efforts against Pamela Price, the overly reform-minded district attorney heavily criticized for ethical concerns and her approach to extreme reduced sentencing. This amendment makes it harder and more expensive for the public to initiate and complete a recall campaign against her or any other elected county officials. Supervisors, you need to step up or be prepared to also be recalled. You're put on notice.
That's right.
Calling your own line, please state your name, which item you're speaking on. Andrea, you're on the line. Caller, we can't hear you. You will need to turn your volume up on your system. Zoom user, we're going to try this again. You're on the line. Please say which item you're speaking on. Please unmute your mic. Chris Moore.
Hello, Chris Moore with SAFE. What I wanted to talk about today is just reaffirming. The RP has indicated SAFE needs to file 73,195 signatures. We will file over 100,000 well before March. And it's going to be prior to any charter amendment that is being discussed today. And therefore, this election, and as a special election at the time of that, will happen under Section 62, under the county charter. And so what and actually it'll happen well before even the end of, probably will happen in early, the special election itself will likely happen in early April. It's probably before the board will even certify the March 5th election, by the time the Secretary of State as well. So what we are asking is, please ensure that the Registrar of Voters and the County Council prepare for the recall under the county charter, Section 62. It is required in the county charter under 62 that this board is to fund fund the ROV and to conduct that election, and conduct the counting of the signatures. So in this meeting or the next meeting, request that the ROV provide a budget of what that's going to cost so you can fund it and ensure it happens. And then lastly, we requested a meeting, and Supervisor Howard, we requested that the ROV and the county council meet with SAFE. We did get a reply about a little over 2 weeks ago, but no scheduled meeting, and we'd like the board to request that because we want to sit down and ensure this happens, ensure the right of the people. We want to stop this problem. You guys can see, crime was going down in Oakland in January. Now it's significantly out of control because of the policies of Congress. Thank you.
Kelly, you're on the line, please state which item you're speaking on.
I am speaking on item 26. Your county council that put this on the agenda for this board didn't provide your board with an independent analysis of the proposed changes. She gave her own unbiased and very partial, very self-serving analysis. She hid her effort to make herself unrecallable. So this proposed amendment would take power away from the voters by giving supervisors the power to appoint a replacement instead of leaving it up to the voters. It also makes appointed officials unrecallable, and this is a loss of local control, an abandonment of home rule. Alameda County is very proud of its special status as a charter county, and this would throw that, this would, the wholesale trashing of the county recall ordinance would abrogate our special status as a charter county. All that's needed are some technical adjustments here, and Section 62 can be preserved almost in its entirety and probably doesn't even need to go to the ballot. Just implement it. Thank you.
Brendan Grisham.
Good morning, my name is Brendan Grisham. I'm here once again, speaking on item 26. Again, it's the recall process. Your job as Board of Supervisors is to uphold the rights of the citizens of Alameda County. I'm African American, so we can't use that. I'm an advocate for the families, and I also am a speaker for ceasefire. So that is my input to keep our black and brown young men and women out of prison. So I work on both sides. This whole process was started disrespectful. As the primary officer for SAFE, I found out about the amendment from the press. You guys didn't even give us the respect to let us know that you thought something was wrong. And who gave you the authority to feel that that was something wrong right now after there was an active recall, which everybody acts like they had no idea this was going on? As I said the first time, that is interference in what the citizens of Alameda County want done. And it's your job to uphold their rights. And that's not what's going on. This has created a mess. You, Ziegler, have pointed out things in the charter that shouldn't even be talked about right now. Your job as the county council is to uphold the rights just like anybody else. But you're pointing out stuff that shouldn't even be in existence right now. What needs to be done, if you feel that it's wrong, think about it later. See what's going on now. When the recall is over, you guys sit down as an organization and see what needs to be done to make it right the next time. Because we will recall Pamela Price. With your help, without your help, it's going to be done for the citizens of Alameda County.
Thank you. From Hayward, speaking on item 26,
President, Supervisors. The simple power of America is the vote of the people. We put representatives in place to protect our unalienable right, the right to choose. And we choose who represents us. Item 26, this recall, change of the recall provisions of our charter is going to remove that ability of the local, of the people, the populace, to remove or recall people who are either appointed or elected who are not serving the interests of the people, or not doing their job. So there's no reason at all to change the provisions of Section 62. It, as was already said, the people drafting this change are themselves subject to that, and therefore, I have today submitted to them notice of our intent to recall both the council, Ziegler, and the chief administrative officer, Marinashi, because this is a conflict of interest and clearly they are not serving the interest of the people. Not only that, the drafting and permitting of false information regarding facts and questions on this was allowed by them. That's in their purview. They're allowing refusals to provide requested public information. I've requested many things, I don't get that. The registrar was not to diminish and make excessive costs. They are imposing untenable burden on the public in violation of policy during COVID. There are many things that they need to be called account to. Thank you.
Orlando, you're online, please state which item you're speaking on.
Item 26. I'm Orlando Johnson. I'm a member of Oakland Community Action Network, Oakland Green Party, Green Party Alameda County Council, Green Party Credential Committee. I've been in Oakland 50 years, and I believe for this call or recall on Pamela Price, I believe it's ridiculous for grown folks to really have confusion for our younger folks on a political process that they don't understand. You got people like Dave and Nate Malley and everybody that do hard work behind the scenes, but y'all can come out here and totally disrespect the hard work that their families and their close friends respect them for the hard work they do. In my consent, we don't need to do this recall. Protect the win. Let's move forward. That's what Oakland and Alameda County is all about. We're about unity. We're about strength in numbers. We have a right to agree to disagree, but it's wrong for those folks to just banish one lady, especially an African-American woman that broke the barriers over 100 years, and for all these people to discredit her on the work that she didn't inherit. So as grown folks and as people and citizens of Alameda County, let's come together and work for a better cause and not a worse cause. Go Green 2024, elect Orlando Johnson, Alameda County Council Green Party. Thank you.
Hunter Powell.
Yes, well, I'm Hunter Powell, Alameda, and I'm speaking against item 26. First of all, I want to express my appreciation to President Miley and Vice President Howard. And in the last session, they considered this item or this matter weighty enough to vote for vote against the approval. I also want to express my appreciation to Supervisor Tam, who in an earlier session voted to put off this matter until today's session. Because this is a serious matter. To change the charter of the county, and it should not be done lightly. Now, to the specifics of the matter, the county council has written a letter detailing her argument for eliminating the Section 62 of the charter. And you read it, and has some sense. But I think there's a bit of a sleight of hand involved in what she says. And I mean, she's trying to make you believe that Alameda County is the one county in the state that has these, this anomalous procedure for recall that's in violation of the state constitution. That's not quite the case, and there are other ways to eliminate the problem of changing, making it in coherence with the Constitution. The thing is, look, we're in the middle of a hotly contested recall effort. There's a healthy outcry from people of many backgrounds about the violence in the county. To change the rules of the game right now, in the heat of the campaign, is not a smart move. Not only would it look bad, it would be bad. So this requires more attention.
Ellen, please state the time you're speaking on. You're on the line.
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes.
Can you hear me?
We can hear you.
Great. My name is Ellen Coffey. I work in Berkeley, and there seems to be a lot of confusion, a lot of talk about the need to undermine the win. They're forgetting that we voted for this DA. They're also confusing, on the one hand, that the state constitution should be used in some instances but ignored in others. The main issue is that we elected Pamela Price. She's doing really good work. The violence in our community has been here a very long time. She's the first elected DA in 68 years. So it seems that rather than working on undermining our democracy, the people wanting the opposition should be working on making our community a safer place. They use the word safe. The other question is, who's paying all these people that are coming from out of state, which is unconstitutional, to gather signatures, getting $10, somebody said $25 for each signature. Where is this money coming from? It's not coming from Alameda County. So there's a whole campaign, but it is a campaign against the kind of justice that Pamela Price brings to our Alameda County. And I want to support the willingness of the board to look at this and to think about this and to realize that this very campaign is undermining our democracy. Thank you very much.
Gerald?
Thank you very much. My name is Gerald Epson. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to Thames District in Oakland. And some background, understanding what I'm going to say. I come from a half Jewish and half Hindu family. And it's 3 words in Hindu, Mam Kibat, Mam Kibat. MANNKIBAT means from the heart. And what I'm saying to you is from my heart to your heart, all of you. And I do think that Supervisors Howard and Miley have shown they listen to the heart of the people. I would ask Supervisor Marquez to listen. Not legalisms and all that, but from the heart of the people. Listen to the heart of the people. What would Rona chant? What would Richard Baye do? Would they change something that's been there almost 100 years? Because the law was going on and said, we got to change it right now. From my heart to your heart, I don't think they would have done that. And when I walked in today to this assembly, man I didn't know said, I feel like I'm in jail. And I said to myself, you know, when I lie awake at night, I jumped the second I hear the sound, because I think it's a firecracker or is it a gunshot? So if you just mark heads and pen, listen to the heart of your people, you will take my lead and have this approach, I believe. Thank you.
Zoom user, you're online. This is the last time. Please unmute your mic.
On.
Thought I was going to say, but the best thing that you as the Board of Supervisors can do right now in the middle of this process is to protect the integrity of the elections and provide confidence for the voters. And this is critically important because at the last election, the register of voters failed the voters because they called for the wrong candidate and they just messed up in multiple elections. There was a call and long debates of the Board of Supervisors on how we can conduct a recount, and that never happened. And that was devastating to all the voters that showed up many times today and wanted to have a voice. With this election, no matter what everybody says today, the signatures are going to be turned in well before the March 5th primary. That means you guys need to take appropriate steps, and that means three things. Ensure that the register of voters typically prepares appropriately along with the county council. It means provide the appropriate funding and make sure that gets to your desk and you sign and execute on that funding so that this recall can happen, because that's your responsibility. It means that you have the register of voters meet with all these people safe and all the mothers that are pushing hard for their voice and for recall. That is the three asks that you could do as the Board of Supervisors in this juncture. Thank you so much.
Chris?
Good morning, Board. First thing I want to say is the homeless problem in Alameda County, we really need to fix that. These monies that's being allocated to these people for these programs are not giving the people what they need. This money they are taking and giving gift cards to people that are addicted to drugs instead of people that are trying to get up and do something. And that's a shame that they're using this money to fund dope dealers. One more thing. When are we going to break J. Edgar Hoover's law from 1967, which put the pressure on every black organization in Alameda County? Miley, you know about it. Carson, you know about it. What about our organizations? I keep hearing about all these other organizations. Oakland was a funded all-black town. They made everybody look like us out here. And now they want to be moving power about they want justice. But what about the crime in Chinatown? What about the crime in Koreatown? What about the crime in Jingletown? But y'all
still controlling something here? Why is all these dead men still able to have a voice when we're standing here talking to you, begging you? I told you last time, glaucoma, my sight is going. There's no reversing that. So one day I won't see your face, but I'm gonna know your voice. I'm gonna know Oakland because I've been here since 1962. I was born here. I'm a native. When are you guys gonna start recognizing the natives of Oakland? Talk about no slavery. Come on now. We know the birth certificate, the social security card, all that money goes to fidelity and reserve accounts. When we die, they get $82 billion from us. But y'all don't recognize it. Y'all think y'all got to sit on the problems here. They've been killing us for years, right here in Oakland. Protect and serve. They took it off the police cars because they didn't want to protect us. They wanted to serve another community.
OCC. My name is Julie. She's like, you go to jail, right? You go to jail, you get a job. You go to jail, you get food. You go to jail, you get medicine. You go back to November 22, 28, phase 2 of the post. The Department of Correction wage increase for inmates who do essential work is not enough. State Senator said by California Black Media. In a notice of change of regulation dated October 6, the CDCR announced that it is increasing the minimum wage from 8 cents to 16 cents per hour for 339,000 state prison inmates who perform critical tasks or work in construction, engineering, manufacturing. Inmates who are firefighters for the state will see their hourly pay rate from an annual between $2.90 and $5.13 per hour to one of the range of $5.80 to $10.20. What y'all slavery? Damn what they talking about. They put dope in our boys' life. They're doing 25 a lot. For a lot. They try to do me in Detroit. I've been tripping and rest my fellow. For the last of my life, for nothing because I'm a black man. This is what we're talking about. Crime downtown. I've been there 35 years. They've been like this in 20 years. It's so bad down there. They took this bird. They came to town with meth, all this. They brought crime to town. Quit lying on my people. We destroyed my people. This is wrong. Paramount property, nothing no matter. Principal ain't building. Now you got principal ain't building. Paramount property. That's a damn shit. Quit lying on me. We're going to Jeffrey. Y'all take your
Please take your
Can't take that.
Hi, my name is Tom Long. I'm a resident of Hayward. Speaking on item 26, I'm holding it. I was just thinking a little bit more nefarious how this section could actually be used. And if we're unable to recall appointed people, could the person just resign and get reappointed back in? If Pamela Price resigns and get reappointed back in, then we can't recall her anymore, or anybody else. If we take away the ability to recall people, then we actually lose the ability to vote and represent the people of the community. San Francisco did that. They took away the ability to vote people in. And they became appointed, and then from appointed, they eliminated all the lower positions, like park, water. It all became an appointed position where we can't recall any of them. And now the city has diminished. It was once this shining star that the world can look up to and come and visit and have fun, and now it's a toilet. And it's all because we've taken away the ability for the people to elect people that represent the community. And this could be used nefariously by elected officials. And I'm asking you not to do this. Laws are made to govern the government, not its people. And I ask that you don't take that ability away, because this could be used in a nefarious way. Thank you.
Carl Shannon.
Good morning. My name is Carl Chen with SAFE. I wish that all you supervisors and all of us have the happy and safe Thanksgiving. I guess when you get older, you get a bigger piece of paper, right? So I just want you to know that the letter that I received, I just put it in my client so you can see it. So it was dated in September 27 from the ROV, and stating that to give us a chance that after reviewing the information submitted, clearly state that the petitions meet the requirements of the California Election Code and County Charter Section 62, and which specifying, all we need will be 73,195 signatures, and also spelling out the date, deadline of March 5th, providing us with 160 days. So I just make sure that, that everything will not be changed. However, I also want to ask, and hopefully the Board of Supervisors can place an item on the next agenda to seek judicial review of the Charter Section 62 to clarify that the state law overrules the current charter for signature gathering. Okay, so everything we're doing accordingly, both by the state and also the charter, county charter. So I think that's very important. But once again, it is very important for us working together, okay? And when we talk about public safety, not only for the people, for the business, for the community, and also law enforcement, but also from the prosecution. But unfortunately, it isn't late, it's on DA. So we're not doing anything personal. Anyone's not doing a job, we have to do this. So the recall has been going on, and I'll make sure that we'll be fast. So we'll get it done as soon as possible. We need to discuss it with the county supervisor. Thank you.
Joe Raymond.
Good morning. So I'm here to discuss the point of recall of Don R. Ziegler, County Council, Alameda County, California. Some of the reasons to be recalled are, well, let me start back. I said my name is Joe Ramos. I represent myself. I don't represent anybody. But I am one of the school districts in the state. So basically, according with Elections Code 11006 and Section 62 of the Alameda County Charter, we want to formally recall appointed county officer, including any officer appointed in lieu of election or to fill a vacancy by service, filing, publication, or post a notice of intention to circulate a recall petition of the officer recalled, in this case, Donna R. Ziegler, County Council, Alameda County, California. And basically, she's trying to remove our right as citizens. So, if we find that some of the elected officials are doing something contrary to the law, we have the ability to recall them. And so we're here because we don't want you to deny that. So we'll bring it up, you will recall her, and recall this petition that she claimed she's trying to get it so she takes our rights away, so we can't say anything. So I could go on talking all day, I'll stop right now. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to speak, and we're totally against this, and we will fight it. God bless you.
President Wiley, there are no more speakers.
Right. Thank the speakers for their comments. Supervisor Howard.
Yeah, I just would like to clarify a couple of things. And sorry I'm not in the room with you all, but I am attentively watching. First of all, the ability to recall appointed officials. I'd like to point out, and maybe we can ask the county council to clarify, but the original amendment to the charter did not include changes to that provision. To our county council's credit, the original drafting of the amendment did not include that. It was the board that recognized that that change was not addressed and directed our county council to address it. The second draft of the amendment now includes that, and that's where we're at. I just want to clarify, this is not coming from county council by anything other than the board directing her to do that. The original draft of the amendment did not include that, that component. Secondly, I would like to note that I've always advocated that we have open dialogue with the community, as well as the target of the recall, to discuss the ins and outs of our policies and procedures. It was pointed out to me, however, we cannot provide legal guidance. That's just not our role, and we have to stay clear of that. As a result, our county council provided some FAQs, because, and I pointed out all along in prior meetings, different scenarios can come up, unintended consequences, what if this, what if that, and we just can't address that with legal advice, but we can address it with FAQs. And I do recommend that if we can avoid giving legal advice, that somehow we're able to meet and confer with both sides. I understand that the target of the recall, it has questions, and the DA needs to have those answers. The people that are trying to accomplish this have questions, and they need to have these answers. I'll say that I continue to oppose the current amendment as drafted for several reasons. One, I don't think it's fair to the current DA, the target of the recall. This is her livelihood at stake, and these amendments at this time cause a lot of confusion. I don't think it's fair to the people. As drafted, this takes away their right to recall members of the leadership that are appointed, but it also causes a lot of confusion. So I continue to reiterate my position that we would do amendment changes later after the recall. But then lastly, I would just like to get clarity for both sides, because I've received written comments from both sides that they are unclear about which elements would govern right now, item 62 as amended or not amended, whether the amendments ultimately make it to the ballot and are passed or not. But is there this opportunity for judicial review that was raised today? I don't know, but it seems, and again, only for the points of clarity for both sides as to where we stand before we move forward with a March 5th ballot amendment. So I would ask for clarity on that point. All of these comments are related to item 26, but I would also like to state that I want to lift up one of the speakers, Chris Pryor. Christopher, thank you for bringing to our attention the items that you raised. I will be following up with our staff to understand more about giving of gift cards, money cards, and who we're giving that to. So anyway, Chris, thank you for coming again to our meeting and for raising the points that you did. If I could ask the County Council, though, to weigh in on the items that I raised, the amendments as originally drafted, as currently on the table, and as well the opportunity for continuing to meet or continuing to provide FAQs, and lastly, judicial review process if there's any opportunity. Thank you.
So Supervisor Howard, we'll take up that, your questions, and we'll have further discussion on this item 26 when we take it up later today. Right now, we've heard from the speakers. We have to deal with the set matter, and then I will just determine whether or not we need to go into closed session at this point in time. But if we could just hold on your items at the moment, because it's somewhat out of order, we will definitely get to that. So what I'd like to do now is, first of all, have the board minutes from our regular meeting on October 31st. If I could get a motion on those.
I'll move approval of minutes.
I'll second.
If they move in second, if there are no more comments or remarks on the minutes, we have the roll call.
Supervisor Howard.
Aye.
Supervisor Marquez. Aye. Supervisor Tam.
Aye.
Supervisor Carson.
Yes.
President Riley.
Yes. Motion passes. All right, we have a set matter at 11 o'clock. It's in reference to Veterans Day that is already passed, so I will make some short comments on the resolution just put it before us. So November 11th, the county has paid our respects and offers thanks to those who have served in the United States military to defend our freedom and our way of life. Time-honored tribute. We celebrate that as Veterans Day. And it began many years ago. We definitely want to pay respect and homage to our veterans. The 11th day, 11th month of 1918 World War I, and after 4 brutal years of fighting. 1 year later, November 11th, as Marcus Day, celebrate peace and the veterans fought to make the world a safer place. In 1938, Congress established Armistice Day as a live holiday to honor those who fought in the war and on the first hour in the wake of World War II and the Korean War. Armistice Day became Veterans Day in 1954, a holiday to be honored of all wars from the past, present, and future. There are roughly 47,000 veterans in Alameda County.
The California Election Code and the County Charter Section 62. So what we're trying to do, currently, we had more than 70,000 signatures and still counting, and many volunteers still doing their job and getting more. It's going to be a long process, and it costs a lot of money and a lot of effort. But once again, I want to thank all the volunteers and those have been supporting us financially, but also helping us to gather signatures. So I want to thank them, for what they have done. Today is what they call the Giving Tuesday. So what I would ask everybody to do, please help supporting your local small businesses, or any business you can support. Please do that. In addition, we also need your help financially. So please go to, we call, DA Price and supporting us so that we can finish the job. And we want to do it as soon as possible. So we're also asking our county supervisors to provide all the needed resources so that we can do the special election, so we get this all over with. And again, we need to rebuild our community being safe. And people are saying that, when we call the DA, doesn't make it safer. No, it's not true. What we're trying to do is this. It's almost like a wildfire. It's burning everywhere. The first thing we got to do is to stop the fire, and then we got to rebuild. The rebuilding process is long, okay? So it has a one step at a time. And people are saying that, can we call it the DA process, does it mean that next day will be better? No, it will not. It takes a while to rebuild, okay? Just like anything else. So at this time, again, on behalf of SAFE, I want to thank every one of you. And again, please stay safe.
Recall Price. 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 We want to ask everyone to go to recallpamelaprice.org and donate, please, because we still have a long road ahead of us. I want to just touch on some points here about restorative justice. You can't forget about the real victims here. And also, racial bias. You can't fight racial bias with racial bias. Two wrongs do not make a right. So we need to address this for what it is. And they need to serve the residents, the communities, the people of Alameda County. People are dying.
That's right.
Businesses are dying. Our communities are dying. So we need to stand together and say no more, no more, no more, no more, no more, no more, no more. All right, next we have Chris Moore. Chris Moore is with SAFE, and he's part of the leadership. Chris Moore.
Thank you. Yes, Chris Moore, M-O-O-R-E. A lot of people ask, why are we going to recall Pamela Price? Why is it? Her policies are horrible. Folks, take a look at Pam Price directives that she issued in April. She does not prosecute. She refuses to allow her DAs to provide gun enhancements. What's been the result? Robbery with a firearm. It's up 47, almost 50% in our community. You saw down there, right down the street here, the 7-Eleven, 6 guys with guns holding it to the guard, robbing him. You know why? Because they know their anti-Pam will not prosecute them. If they walk up with their fists, it's the same as holding a gun to somebody's head. It's the same as somebody holding a gun to anybody's head here. She is not prosecuting anybody for committing crimes with firearms. What does that happen to the community here? Look at these numbers. If you go back and look at the Oakland OPD numbers in January, when Pam Price started, all these crimes were declining. They were going down. As soon as Pam Price comes in, look at this. Robbery up 35%. Violent crime index, that's homicide, aggravated assault, rape, robbery, up 21%. Folks, she's a disaster. She's burning down this community. Just as Carl said, she is causing wildfires all over this community and is spreading out across the county, and that's why we must recall her. That's why she must be recalled. And what we said today to the Board of Supervisors is this. Our recall, we're going to blow away the 73,000 number with signatures. People cannot wait to sign this. Every day they want to sign this. We're going to blow it away. We're going to submit these well before March. It's going to happen at least a month before March. What does that mean? That means this recall will be a special election under the county charter section 62. So therefore, what they're talking about today, that change, doesn't matter. What the Board of Supervisors should be focused on is funding, and this is required in Section 62. They need to fund Tim Dupree and the ROV to execute on this election and this recall of Pamela Price. Why do we need to do it? To basically stop the death and destruction of our community.
That's right.
The sooner Pam Price is out, the sooner we can start building.
Yes.
So, folks, also, please go to recallpamelaprice.org. Click on the donate button right up on the top. We need to get rid of this disaster to our community as quickly as possible. Thank you.
Recall Price! Recall Price! Recall Price!
Recall Price! Recall Price! Recall Price! Recall Price! Recall Price!
All right, next we have Tuan No, and he is the founder of Asians Unite. And the Asian community is under assault. And it's unfortunate because a lot of that crime gets unreported. They don't know how to. They're being targeted specifically because the elderly, a lot of them carry cash. They're not carrying credit cards. They have jewelry, so on and so forth. So these folks are being unfairly targeted. And we need to bring that forward and let the public know that we're all victims here.
It's not just the victims of violent crime.
That's right.
We're all victims. Our insurance is going up, property insurance, commercial insurance.
Amen, brother.
Just living in fear is not living, that's surviving.
Amen.
And that's barely surviving.
Yep.
So we need to put a stop to this, we need to say no more, and we need to recall Price now. Now.
Recall Price.
Recall Price. Recall Price. Recall Price. Recall Price. Recall Price. Recall Price. Recall Price. All right, now we have the next speaker, Tuan No, and he is part of leadership, but also founder of Asians Unite.
Thank you for being here, everybody. I'd like to also thank the rest of the community uniting as one voice to speak out against the violence and the crimes, because none of us should live in fear. None of us should be victims. None of us should have families that get hurt. None of us should be driving on the streets and get our cars broken into. None of us should not be able to count on safety from our elected leaders, and most of all, we should be able to count on a district attorney to protect us from wrongdoing, from criminal behavior. DA Price has failed us as an entire community, and it's not just because she's new. She's actually been here for a year, and she announced her policy of being soft on crime while she ran for election. The criminals know about it. The criminals are not stupid. So now she lets up 2/3 of the criminals out and loose because there are 2/3 fewer felonies that are being charged under her, 2/3 fewer misdemeanors are being charged under her. So 2/3 of criminals are victimizing you, me, our families. That needs to stop. The recall is happening, and it's going to we're going to be able to recall her well before the March 5th deadline to turn in all the signatures that we need. The register of voters need to prepare now because they have over a year to prepare for this recall election. There's no excuse for them not to perform. And the Board of Supervisors need to provide funding, make sure that the register of voters do their jobs, and we can all help this process and stop crime by supporting our volunteers, recognizing that these mothers who truly understand the impact of crime, having lost loved ones, they are our canaries in the mine, and they're telling us where we need to just stop what we're doing, and we need to exit from this victim crime situation that we're in. And please, everybody, donate to recallpamelaprice.org. We need your support. We need money to make this happen. We need volunteers. Please sign the petitions to recall Pamela Price. There's still time to do it. You can go to the website recallpamelaprice.org to look at all the locations we have on the weekends where you can show up with your family and sign and stop this madness. Thank you so much.
Recall Price! 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 All right, next we have Joe Ramos. He's with East Bay School Board.
God bless you all. The Word of God says, death and life are in the power of the tongue. So today I come to speak to you about life. What do we have right here? You've already known what's been going on this last year with the DA, Price. I'm not even going to dignify it by saying her whole name. But what we have to do is we have to unite. Someone once said that, let me read it for you so I don't mess it up. But they said, the only thing necessary for evil to exist is for what? For good men or women to do nothing. So we're asking you to do something. If not, you're just watching and letting things happen. So Pamela Price got put in there by the powers that be. And she already told you what she was going to do, and she's doing it. And so unless you stop her by recalling her, then nothing's going to happen. Para todos ustedes que hablan español, si votan, tienen que votar contra Pamela Price. Ahorita estoy aquí para levantar la movimiento sobre Pamela Price. So I'm here to motivate you to go do something. If not, like someone mentioned, you're a potential victim. I'm a potential victim. I used to be a volunteer in the jails for 20 years. And I would tell my friends on Monday, they'd say, "What you do this weekend?" I was in jail. And they would look at me kind of surprised, and "What did you do?" I said, "I preached. I spoke to them." And they would say, "Well, that's kind of crazy, right? Why would you do that?" And I say, "Because I'm not stupid, and the more people I can touch with the Word of God, then they're not going to be out there mugging people. My family, myself, you. So you're going to have to do something. You're going to have to decide. You're either with us or you're against us. You can't be riding the fence." So I ask you right now to consider deeply and vote for recall of Pamela Price. God bless you all.
Si se puede, we can make a difference together. Si se puede, 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 recall Price. All right, next we have Patricia Harris. Patricia Harris is a mother of a victim. So the holidays, of course, are very tough, even more so for the family of victims. So Patricia Harris.
Sorry? Good morning. My name is Patricia Harris. This is James Curtis, my husband. We lost our son 3 years ago. He was murdered, and the person was caught on murder charges. Pamela Price came in and pretty much eliminated all of the charges down to nothing and let him out after 2.5 years in jail. Not prison, jail. No probation, no programs. There's no program, no requirement to get a job to be a good citizen. We are here supporting this recall because of that reason, because our son did not receive justice. And the only justice that we can get for him is to have her recalled. She made a statement in one of her many events that the young people are out doing terrible, terrible things and they're not going to get off scot-free, that they'll do 10 years. And that 10 years is a long time. The person that murdered our son did 2.5 years, period. It's not fair, it's not right, and we don't want these other families to go through this. We don't want any families that are out there that it has not happened to happen to them, because it's going to continue to happen under her and her regime.
That's right.
Her prosecutors are not allowed to prosecute. They've been honest with us and said we can only do what she tells us to do. Where is the justice in them not being able to fight for our families, for the victims that have lost their lives? It's just not right, and we pray that everyone supports this recall, that when you see us out there, that you sign up, that you donate, that you give us words of encouragement, because it takes a lot for all of these people to show up. They take off work to show up for this, because it's so important.
Yes.
Thank you.
Recall Price! 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 Now we want to direct everyone, please go to recallpamelaprice.org and donate, because goodwill does not get the job done. We need folks to get out there and do something for our community, and you could do it with your dollars. So please support the action, because this is coming back to you in terms of benefits, and we have to invest in our future. Otherwise, there is no future if we don't take care of business today. That's right. And what is the business? Recall Price! Recall Price! Recall Price! Recall Price! Recall Price! I'm Edward Escobar, founder of Citizens Unite, and working with the community for Coalition for Community Engagement and SAFE. And we thank you all for coming here today. And if you have any interest in any one-on-ones, please let us know and we'll set that up for you. So thank you all for coming, and let's continue this recall action to recall Price. Recall Price! Recall Price! Recall Price! Recall Price! Thank you.
Đây, những người phóng viên này quý vị. Đây là đài KTVU, đủ thứ đài hết, đài số 7 ABC nè, lot of big box media.
So basically, what it is
Some of it Xong rồi. Xong ở trên là ghi tất cả ghi ra đây nè. Đây cộng đồng người Hoa ở đây ủng hộ recall price.
Whatever you want for better backdrop or better lighting or whatever.
So I'm just going to ask you a specific question.
What they're doing today is they're voting a policy to change from the county charter to the state charter. Okay, so it basically from a recall perspective. So I think what we're upset about is it's confusing the public. We're going to hand in signatures under the current county charter, section 62. That means that the Board of Supervisors should be focused on enacting and conducting a recall under section 62 of the current county charter. That's where they should be focusing their time, not on a change in the charter, because it's irrelevant to our campaign. And so that is what we're upset about, is that they shouldn't be playing with, what's confusing the voters. They should be focused on funding a recall campaign. It doesn't. It does not matter. So for the primary on March 5th,
you're on the news again.
Neither action will impact what happens.
You're on the news again. I saw you.
The only thing that happens on
I'll be on the news tomorrow. I'll be on You got your name in there. It's like, who we go to? We did an Asian guy.
Three supervisors again put it on the special election. I'm sorry, the primary election on March 5th. Then it will go out, and that will be law. That's all that it changes. And for us, we're going to submit our signatures in late January, early February. We'll have a recall election before they certify this election, the primary election. So it's just for the future. Is what that's it's hard to understand.
When's the expected recall election?
So under county charter, section 62, file out signature petition in early February. There will be a special election on April 9th. Assuming the board pushes it forward and votes for it, but it will be in early April. That's the requirement under section 62 of the county recall charter.
No matter what they do today,
Correct. What they're doing today, they're doing, no matter which way the voters vote.
Excuse me, Hunter. Say cheese.
And that's why we're going to make a correction. So we are going to ask the Board of Supervisors to conduct the county charter, under what is required today under section 62. So, so what some people are talking about today,